Okay, so what is injection molding? So injection molding is actually one of the most commonly used nowadays manufacturing process for creating plastic parts. Injection molding is a manufacturing process for producing parts at a very large scale and at a very large volume. So it is typically used in mass production for the fabrication or the creation of parts that want to be produced maybe thousand parts or maybe a million parts at a very low cost. And injection molding is a process where the polymer, which due to its properties, it's typically a thermoset or a thermoplastic, is heated and until it reaches its melted state, it flows until it it gets into the cavity of a mold, and in this mold it adopts the shape and it solidifies after it's cooled down. Okay, so with what materials is the injection molding used with? So it is typically used with raw materials in the form of thermoplastic pellets, which are small granules that are plastic cut into a given size. They're quite very small, and they are fed into the barrels of the screw extruder, which is in the machine, in the injection molding machine, and then these pellets are melted, and that's how the molds are created. So the thermoplastics are recycled by remelting them and then reforming into another product. And in these thermoplastic materials, we can find the PETE, the HDPE, the PVC, the LDPE, the PP, which is the one we actually used in this workshop, which is the polypropylene, and the PS, and many others.
Polypropylene was a plastic used for the injection molding machine. Here we can see an image of the polypropylene. The polypropylene is a thermoplastic, as all the other thermoplastics that we use in the injection machine. This is a combination of propylene monomers, and this has various applications throughout the industry, and the most common use is in the injection molding machine. The density of the polypropylene is between 0.89 and 0.92 grams over cubic centimeter, and therefore this polypropylene is a commodity plastic with the lowest density, so is the most used. It has a really high melting point, and this helps a lot because in the machine the pellets, it arrives to the big tube and they need to be melted so they can fill appropriately the mold, and well, that's about it. So this is an image that we recovered from the internet. This is the scheme of the machine. We can find the hydraulic fluid here. That is the one that pushes the center part of the machine. We have the motor here. We have the top, that is where you put all the pellets of polypropylene. We have the calefactor. This is very important in the process because the calefactor will melt all the pellets and will give it that like liquid phase that will help to fill the mold. Then we have the sinker, that is a tiny hole where all the melted plastic goes through. And here we have the mold, that is the final step of the machine, where the pellets that are melted will take the form of the mold.
Development in these kind of processes is really important for a country such as Mexico that has a lot of manufacturing power, because you can do, it's a really simple process that produces almost end materials, which means that you only have to take away the flash and maybe assemble some of the pieces, But basically, what you get out of the plastic injection is a finished product. So Mexico has a lot of the advantage because it's centered in title logistics, and it's very important that Mexico continues developing better molds, better technologies such as this, because it can produce a lot of the opportunities it has. It can be produced in mass production.
Okay, so personally, I really enjoy this practice. I think it's a very useful practice. And even though I'm not an engineer and I'm an industrial designer, I think this workshop was very useful. And for me, I I think it would be very very useful in the future, because for the creation and the fabrication of I don't know, of a simple chair or a table, to know these processes is very important and of great use. And I think, like as a designer, it is very easy to research about this kind of stuff, but to have a workshop where we can work on this kind of things and to actually know how the process works and to actually see the end of the product, like the real product the machine gives to us. I think it is really important, and I really appreciate it, and I had a lot of fun doing it.
This practice was very interesting because the injection molding is a process that is the most common used in all the industries, and almost everywhere we go we can find injection plastic things or things that were made with injection plastic, and also because it's really cheap to make these materials or these artifacts from injection molding. Um, I think it's really fun how to see that millions of parts every day are produced with an injection molding, and because, well, it's really cheap and really fast.
Injection molding is the most common manufacturing process in plastics, because it is quick, it is easy, it is cheap, and it is really easy to change molds. The most difficult part of the whole thing is that you need to change maybe it can be iron mold, it can be aluminum mold, preferably iron, but you just need to change it. And it's really cool because right now after the practice I've understand how to know if any plastic was made with this process, because it has an injection point and it has the pistons which actually push the part away. So it's actually amazing, because right now I can understand why people would actually use this method of manufacturing instead of other methods.